Good morning all students. Today we are going to begin the second chapter of your midterm examination and we will deal with supplementary, and today's topic is the making of scientist. Okay, the making of scientist is a very beautiful lesson about scientific discovery. In this chapter we will come to know about Richard Ebright's discovery. Okay, so let's find out how did a book become a turning point in Richard Ebright's life. We are going to know how a book is going to be a milestone, a changing milestone in the life of Richard Ebright, and how did his mother help him, and what is the role of Richard Ebright's mother in his growth. Okay, so let's begin the chapter. At the age of 22, a former Scout of the Year excited the scientific world with a new discovery on how cells work. When Richard Ebright was only 22, and he is also actually Scout of the Year. At that time, he just created a havoc in the world of science by discovering how cells work. Okay, Richard H. Ebright and his colleague, his college roommate, explained the theory in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. Richard Ebright, along with his colleague, they both worked a lot and they discovered the theory and explained that theory in an article in Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. He explained the things in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time this important scientific journal had ever published the work of a college student. Now we come to know what actually Proceedings of the National Academy of Science is. It is a journal. Okay, it is a journal. It is a scientific journal, in fact. So it was the first time this important scientific journal, means this scientific journal has published for the first time the discovery of a college student. It means that definitely that particular boy has a lot in him. Okay, so in sports, that would be like making the big leagues at the age of 15 and hitting a home run your first time at bat. So whenever we are playing, so at that time in a game, we used to hit home run. Home run is just like hitting a six in cricket. Okay, so he is comparing actually this particular achievement with some other things, like making the big leagues at the age of 15. When you are only 15 years old and you did a lot of achievement, this was just like that. And hitting a home run your first time at bat, when you are going to bat for the very first time, at that time you did that. Okay, for Richard Ebright, it was the first in a long string of achievement. It is just the first step in his long string of achievement. Okay, in science and other fields, and it all started with butterflies. All his things were started with butterflies. He is known for the discovery of butterflies, discovery of cells in butterflies. We will come to know later. So, as only child, Ebright grew up north of Reading. When he was actually a child, he grew up north of Reading, Pennsylvania. There was not much I could do there. This is the name of a place. Pennsylvania is the name of a place where he did nothing. He did in fact nothing, and that's why he is saying there was not much I could do there. There was nothing he could do over there. He said, I certainly could not play football or baseball with a team of one. And he's also admitting that he is all alone over there. And that's why he is saying that he cannot play basketball, he cannot play baseball or football with a team of one. Means alone he cannot play all these things. We need so many players if we want to play a game. Okay? But there was one thing I could do, collect things. But how can I spend my time? I can spend my time, I can enjoy my time by doing something extra, and that extra is actually collecting things. He chose to collect the things. He started to collect the things for a change of mood only. So he did and he ever, and this he continued to follow this routine for a very long period of time. Beginning in the kindergarten, a bride collected butterflies with the same determination that has marked all his activities. So when he went to the kindergarten, over there too, he started to collect butterflies. He started to collect butterflies, and with the same determination for which he is actually known. He also collected rocks, fossils and coins. Not only butterflies, but also rocks, but also fossils and but also coins he collected. He became an eager astronomer too, sometimes stargazing all night. So he was also a great astronomer, as he used to pass his time gazing at stars at night. Whenever it is night, he used to gaze at those particular things. From the first, he had a driving curiosity along with a bright mind. From the very beginning of his life, a bride is having a very keen curiosity in himself, and also he is having a very bright mind. He also had a mother who encouraged his interest in learning. The biggest support for a person is his mother. Everybody's mother is very supporting. Okay, so a bride is also very fortunate, as his mother was very supporting. She took him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials, and other equipment, and helped him in many other ways. So she not only shaped the domestic life of a bride, but also the academic. She knew very well what is the mind of her child, and that's why she used to brought mounting materials. Mounting materials means something which we can use, okay, and other equipment like telescopes, microscopes, cameras, and all these things help a lot to nurture the bride. I was his only companion until he started school, and she used to say, his mother used to say that she was only one and only companion of a bride when he was going to school. At the time of his schooling, his mother was his only companion. After that, I would bring home friends for him, and then after, she realized that definitely there should be some social touch in Richard Ebright's life, and that's why she brought friends for him. But at night, we just did things together. But usually, friends departed at night, and this happened with Richard Ebright too. His friends departed when it is night. Richie was my whole life after his father died, when Richie was in third grade. Now his mother is saying the nickname for Richard Ebright was Richie, and she is saying that Richie is actually everything for her after the departing of his father. It means her husband. After the departing of her husband, Richie was everything. The two are actually complement for each other. She and her son spent almost every evening at the dining room table. They used to spend time together at the dining table. If we did not have things to do, I found work for him, for making life more interesting, for making him busy. His mother used to find work for him. She allotted work for him, not physical work. Actually, it is not every time like physical work. Go and do that particular thing. Go and do that particular thing. It is something extra. Okay. What was that? But learning things. She used to find things, learning things, some learning materials. His mother said he liked it and he wanted to learn. Actually, this Richard Ebright was a very keen student, and that's why whatever work that is assigned to him by his mother, he used to follow that. And learn he did. He earned top grades in school, and his learning was really very outstanding, as he secured good grades, means top grades in his school. On everyday things, he was just like every other kid, his mother said. And if she compare his child to some other kid, then he is just like other kids. Just like other kids, they are not actually interested in doing the things. Richard Ebright was also of the same category, of the same mentality. And learn he did. He earned top grades in school. On everything, he was just like every other kid his mother had. By the time he was in second grade, Ebright had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. When Richard Ebright was only in second grade, just try to understand how small he was. In the second grade, he was able to collect all type of the butterflies that were there in his locality. Okay, and there are some names written over here that you can see in this table. So that probably would have been the end of my butterfly collecting. When he had discovered all the butterflies, that could be the end of his butterfly discovery. But then my mother got me a children's book, The Travels of Monarch X. This book is going to be very, important, changing, a life-changing book in the life of Richard Ebright. Please underline it. The Travels of Monarch X. Okay. So, but then my mother got me a children's books called The Travels of Monarch X. She brought for him a book named The Travel of Monarch X. Okay, that book, which took how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, opened the world of science to the eager young collector. So, in that book, the theory how the butterflies migrated to Central America was given, and this particular thing has opened the life of science for this eager young collector. Okay, at the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterflies. So at the end of the book, there were some clues were asked from the readers how they can understand the things properly. So they were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick. There is a Dr. Frederick who actually asked to tag butterflies. Means there should be a symbol on the wings, on the body of the butterfly, so that they can know that they have touched this particular thing, this particular butterfly. And who is Dr. Frederick? Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto. He belongs to the University of Toronto, Canada. Ebright's mother wrote to Dr. Urquhart, and soon Ebright was attaching light adhesive tags to the wings of the monarch. So he started to tag some light weighted adhesive tags to the wings of the monarch butterflies. Everyone who found a tag butterfly was asked to send the tag to the Dr. Urquhart, and if anyone of the student, if anyone found a tag butterfly, they were asked to send back the tag to the Dr. Urquhart. The butterfly collecting season around reading last 6 weeks in the late summer. That particular period, the butterfly collecting period, it lasts for the 6 weeks in the late summer. If you are going to chase them one by one, you won't catch very many. If you are going to catch butterfly one by one, you are not going to get a lot of butterfly at a time. Okay, it will take time. Means a butterfly are very very flexible. They are very fast. You cannot catch a lot butterfly in a day if you work a lot. Even then. So if you are going to chase them one by one, you won't catch them very many. So the next step for the Ebright was to raise a flock of butterflies. So what he wanted, he just wanted to raise the flock of butterflies. He would catch a female monarch, and for that he decided to catch a female monarch, take her eggs, and he will take the eggs of the female monarch and raise them in his basement through their life cycle. And he just want to tame the eggs of the butterfly in his basement, and he will study the full life cycle of the female of those eggs, from eggs to caterpillar, how they are converting, how they are changing from eggs to caterpillar, from caterpillar to pupa, and from pupa to the adult butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly's wings and let them go. And once they became the butterfly, he would tag the butterfly's wings, and then he would let them go. For several years, his basement was home to the thousands of the monarch in different stages of development. So a lot of butterflies were there, a lot of monarchs were there, and they were at different stages. For several years, this routine was followed by Richard Ebright. Eventually, I began to lose interest in tagging butterflies. But what happened then? when extremity of everything is bad, when Richard Ebright was going through all those things a lot, then he get bored. He bored a lot, and that's why he lost interest in tagging butterflies. It is a tedious job, and there is not much feedback. Even then, he is doing a lot. He is working a lot. Even then, he was not getting anything fruitful from that. Ebright said, in all the time I did it, he laughed. Whatever time he has given to that, he used to laugh at particular things. And only 2 butterflies I had tagged were recaptured. So the butterfly, from the butterflies that he actually captured, only 2 butterflies were recaptured. And there were not more than 75 miles from where I live. And those butterflies were found only 75 miles away from the place where Richard Ebright lived. So this was how, just try to understand how boring, how fruitless the task was, and that's why, being a very smart student, Richard Ebright lost his interest in tagging the butterflies. Now, students, there are some questions like, what lesson does Ebright learn when he does not win anything in the science at a science fair? The first question is, now in the second paragraph we will come to know what lesson does Richard Ebright learn when he does not win anything at the science fair in the next upcoming video. What experiment and projects does he then undertake, and what things he had taken for completing his task, and what are the qualities that go into the making of scientist, and how can he go for making a scientist? Okay, so now before we have begun the chapter, we have questioned some things. How did a book become a turning point in Richard Ebright's life? So as we know that his mother, she has brought the book, the name of the book is The Travels of the Monarch X, and that in that particular book, actually how butterflies migrated to Central America, that theory was given. That is why that book was a life changing for Richard Ebright. Okay, now you can also just suggest your ways for better understanding. And second question is, how did his mother help him? So his mother, not only she was very supporting in his domestic life, but also she just tried to motivate him in all the possible way. She brought for him cameras, telescopes, microscopes, mounting materials, a lot of things that are very useful for his study. Okay, so this is how this chapter is dealt. This chapter has begun. Now, species and the subspecies of the butterfly connected in the 6 weeks in reading Pennsylvania. In this table, all the butterflies means the species and the subspecies of the butterflies are given, and these things Mr. Richard Ebright has collected while he is at Pennsylvania. Okay, students. So this is the first part of this particular chapter. We will meet very soon in the second part, and we will try to know more about Richard Ebright's discovery. Okay. Till then, keep learning and keep watching. Thank you, students. Keep smiling.